Plus, what we're learning today about the highly anticipated U.S. intelligence report on UFO sightings. The truth is out there, folks, and the serious national security concerns being raised. Former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta will be here to tell us all of the UFO sightings he got to see. The former Defense Secretary, former head of the CIA, former White House Chief of Staff, just to name a few of his titles, Leon Panetta. Leon, welcome back to Meet the Press Daily, sir.
Good to be with you, Chuck.
All right. I got to ask you about UFOs. The truth is out there. The question I have is, we've been reading a lot about a lot of these. It's mostly been observations of from Navy personnel. Look, Occam's razor this for me. When you've seen this unidentifiable stuff, is your presumption that it is a China or a Russia testing some crazy technology that we somehow don't have, or are we sort of over assuming the abilities of China and Russia, and that the only other explanation is, if it is not us ourselves, that it's something otherworldly?
Well, Chuck, it's obviously been going on for a long time, and there's a lot of speculation. I've never seen any evidence that any of this is related to extraterrestrial human beings or beings of any kind. And for that reason, I've always thought that even though we have these sightings, and I guess the report that's coming out is going to basically acknowledge that there are a lot of sightings. They haven't tied it to being UFOs in the sense of relating it to enemies in space.
Sure.
But I believe a lot of this stuff probably could be countries like Russia, like China, like others, who are, using now drones, using the kind of sophisticated weaponry that, could very well be involved in a lot of these sightings. So I think that's the area to go to, very frankly, in order to identify what's happening.
More importantly, it sounds like you think that you should exhaust that that hypothesis first before you start dealing with any of the other hypotheses.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I think the reality is we know what some of these capabilities are from our adversaries. We've seen what they're capable of doing. I think because they are adversaries, it's much more logical to me to believe that they're trying every way possible to be able to gather the kind of intelligence that would help them in terms of developing their approach to how they deal with the United States. I think that's the better approach to take right now.
Well, I have to say, though, the Chinese can't even control their space junk. So part of me questions some of that. Anyway, Leon Panetta, it's always a pleasure to get your perspective on these important issues. Thank you, sir.
Good to be with you, Chuck.